Hi guys, this is Thunder E from Bored at Work, and I know you guys have been waiting for our review, so here it is for the LG G Flex. This is the AT&T version. So I want to thank AT&T for sending this to us because we can definitely spend some time to use this device. Now this is one of the first curved smartphones, and you can see it's curved from top to bottom. And it's a pretty cool device. It's got some unique features that you can easily use. You can also bend this bad boy flat and it still works. So why don't we jump in and find out if the LG G Flex is definitely worth a purchase for you to pick up on AT&T. The LG G Flex is LG's latest smartphone on the market. And while it's got all the specs you require for a modern day smartphone, from a Snapdragon 800 processor to 2 gigs of RAM, 13 megapixel shooter, its new innovation that everyone's talking about is the fact that it's a curved display. So the phone is laying flat on its face, and you can see there is enough space in between there. Not only is this curved, this is also a flexible curved display, which means I can literally press down on this device and it has give to it. So I can literally do this, flat, and bring it back up, flat, and bring it back up, and still the device is good as new. So this is one of the things that really LG has brought to the table with this device. The other aspect, of course, is its scratch ability at the back, and I'll show you that in a second. So while it's quite hard to see here on camera, I have scratched my LG G Flex here. I scratched it last night, and it's one of the capabilities it has. It's got Wolverine self-healing capabilities. What that means is that if you have your G Flex in your pocket, it's scratched by your keys and things like that, applying some heat and pressure to this will actually cause those to self-heal. Yes, Wolverine abilities will self-heal. Now, I tried it out yesterday. I'm not going to do it on camera again because it's taking quite a bit of time, because also temperature. Now, from LG's test, they've done it in a room at 80 degrees. I live in New England, so it's cold, and it's taking some time for that to do. I might as well put it next to my heater or something. But the scratches were much more visible yesterday, and you see they're slowly going over time. And one of the things that I noticed is that if you rubbed on it really hard to bring some heat and friction to it, that did help. And that's something that LG has done quite well here to actually make this a more palatable experience for the customer, and giving you something that actually really works well for your use. So this thing is packed with a lot of features. Now, we do know it's got a Snapdragon 800 processor from Qualcomm, so that's out of the way, which means gaming wise and also performance wise it works very well. You can check out our gaming video where the LG G Flex really does a good job there, not just because of the processor or the 2 gigs of RAM, but also the display. Now, the display is a 720p display. It's a curved display with also that curved battery, and it does a couple of things here for gaming. This was more flexible, easy to use. You can see the real estate, 6 inches, great for watching video and doing many tasks on your device altogether. You also have some of these multi-task functionalities which are built in, like the Q Slide app. So basically allowing me to use more real estate and moving this around and having a full multitask functionality in here. Other applications they've added here to take full advantage of this, like the Quick Theater, which gives you the ability to use your real estate as much as you want. As you can see the cat video here, and as we look at that, just put that down. You do have that ability built in. You also have the picture-in-picture mode and things like that. I think LG's done a good job with this device. Now, battery life, it's got a 3400 milliamp battery. Battery life is fantastic. I'll just put it out there. It's fantastic. I mean, only the Oppo N1, I think, in my estimation now, surpasses this device, because it's got a huge battery in that. I think it's almost close to 4,000, and this does a fantastic job at almost 3 days of use, especially my kind of use, heavy usage of the device. I think the interface works well with this device, and for me, size wise, it's not a problem. I've got bigger hands than most people, so that for me works. If you've got big hands, you will definitely like this phone. The one point I will mention is the display itself. It's a 720p display. This is a 1080p display, and it really shows. If you're able to look in closer, some of the applications, you can see the icons look a little pixelated. You can actually see the pixels, and it can be a little blurry, which is not cool, especially when you have a smartphone for this amount. Now, the camera itself, LG's done a bunch of things to the camera. If I can find my camera app, I don't even know where I actually put it. There we go. So they've done a lot of things with the camera. The camera has a couple of settings. One of course, is the fact in video you can record in UHD. So what that means is 4K. 4K resolution is supported here as we zoom in for you, and you can check out our Savannah Cat video in 4K. Also, you do have other functions in terms of video recording, which you can go through, as well as this is a 13 megapixel shooter that should shoot at low light. So basically the same shooter you have on the G2, but of course it does have the UHD video compatibility there. You do have things like audio zoom, white balance, geotagging, key volume remote, so you can actually use the buttons at the back next to the camera for actually some control of the camera functionality in here. So that is nice, and that is something nice to see. One of the bummers I do have is that this is running Android 4.2 and not 4.4. So hopefully we'll see an update soon, and hopefully we'll see some of the things they've brought to this device to other LG devices. So in the future, I would love to see this display as we move forward. But you know, before I talk too much, let's go ahead and just round up this review on our thoughts on the LG. So spending some time with the G Flex and using this device from AT&T, I really like it, and there's some parts that I really don't like as much. And I'll start with things I don't like as much, and we can just get that out of the way. The display, and I initially defended the display at 720p, but I've come to realize that it should have been a 1080p display. I had some discussions with friends, and I talked about this with them. Now, looking at the display, I know you guys can't see clearly enough, but when you actually look at it while using the device, because it's a 6-inch display, and also, you know, it's 720p, you can see the pixelation. You can see actually how some of the icons and app icons look, you know, slightly enlarged and not pretty crystal clear and crisp as you expect from a sharp display. So that aspect is something that I really didn't like as much. The other aspect also that I found a little bit iffy was also the scratch resistant backplate. You do have to apply a lot of heat to it to actually get it to work. Even though I applied some light scratches, and some of my scratches are gone, but it's still there at the back. This is something I tried on my own. I didn't do one on the video just because I didn't want to over scratch the thing to death in there. So those are the things that I didn't like as much with the device on there. Another thing also is the camera. The camera at 13 megapixels records it decently. It does a good job, actually 4K and 1080p. Photo stills were a bit iffy and not as crisp as I was expected as compared to the G2, but there's no comparison, but it's something that, you know, I wish they put more into it overall. Now, the things I like, I love the flexible bench display. I love this aspect of the device. I love the fact that it's there because I actually think it works. Some people might ask why do you think so? Well, you're making phone calls, it actually feels more comfortable on the face because you don't have a flat device, or you don't have to hold it out. You don't have to actually necessarily pull it back. And the voice quality on this thing is very, very good. I really like the voice quality. It was clear, it was crisp, it was good. Next off, the battery life. 3400 milliamp battery. Whew, great. It's lovely. It's lasted me for close to 3 days, almost as good as the Oppo N1, which I had. So I was quite impressed with that fact that you can actually get very solid battery life from this device. The other thing too I did like also, LG also hasn't changed the interface on here, but it still looked and felt much better than on the G2, and I really like that. I like some of the other software additives in terms of multitasking and things like that they added here, which was very nice altogether. And of course, it's got a Snapdragon 800 processor, so that worked out very well. Overall, this is a very solid phone. One thing I would mention to LG is that if you're going to do this later on, you make it 5.5 inches. For me, 6 inches is great. You know me, I love my big phones because I have a big hand, but for most people, I think this would be hard, especially the curved display. It's great looking at the display and also like reading and watching videos. Holding it this way, holding it in landscape mode to watch videos or play games really, really works. And the curved display lends to just nicely holding the device capably. But 5.5 inches might be the best range for something like this in the future, is something I'll put out there. And again, on the AT&T network, it does a great job. Voice calls were very clear. Data also worked pretty fast. I had no issues with data speeds, things like that. Overall, I like the device. I think it's something that you can definitely check out if you're looking for something new and innovative to start the year. It's a little different. The curved display you will enjoy, but it's not that huge leap you're expecting. It works in many little areas that you find quite comfortable to use. But overall, I like the device. You know, I think there's room for improvements in the future, and something you could definitely check out for what it is. So this is Thunder E saying thank you, and don't forget to to leave a comment. I almost forgot about it. Leave a comment with this video. Tell me what you think. If you think I'm wrong, if you like the G Flex, if it's something you're interested in, and also like this video, guys. Share this video, favorite this video, and also subscribe to our channel, Bored at Work. Board Gamers, our gaming channel, and BooredFemme, our female counterpart at Bored at Work. So this is Thunder E saying thank you, and always enjoy your entertainment.